Are you struggling cutting curly hair with confidence? In this beginner-friendly tutorial, I'll walk you through the exact steps to master a curly textured crop and taper. This is the most requested cut in the shop right now. From simple fade techniques to easy curl enhancing tricks, you'll learn everything you need to know to level up fast. Let's get started. I've gowned up my client, got them comfortable, and now I'm going to section the hair. Following the lines on the screen, I'm creating a simple horseshoe section. This is the most common sectioning pattern that you will see when cutting men's hair. This allows to separate the sides and back from the top, and it keeps the overall haircut square and masculine. This is what it should look like. After completing the square section on the top, I'm moving to the side. I always start on the right hand side of the head as I'm right handed. I pick up my mini trimmers and I put my zero line in. Using the eye and the middle of the ear as a reference point to put my zero line in, I then pick up my big clippers, push down on the lever to create a 0.5. This will help blend that mini trimmer line out. Now I push back up on the lever to create a 0 on my big clippers, and that will help blend the line out even further. As you can see, I'm putting the numbers on the screen for you guys to have a reference so you can come back and re-watch this video. After working out the line with your big clippers, if you still feel there's a little bit of a shadow, you can pick up your mini trimmers and work with the edge just to refine that line further. Working on these small details will really give you that professional look that you desire. Big shout out to Babyliss for sending me these new trimmers. I really enjoy using them. Moving on to cleaning up behind the ear, this will really show off the taper and the shape of the hairline. After cleaning up around the ear, I will always move on to the front of the haircut where I'm shaping up around the face. This is a very important part to get right, as this is what the client will see first. This is what I would call face framing. Now the next step, I've grabbed my 0.5 guard, as you can clearly see in the video. I'm now going to push the lever down, and this will allow me to create a 0.75. This is a trick I always use when I'm doing a taper or a fade. This allows me to work through the guards and allows me to blend the short hair into the long hair with a seamless transition. This is one of my hot tips here at Hotheads Media that will really help you get them blurry transitions from zero into long hair when you're doing tapers or fades. Working with different clicks on the clipper with the 0.5 guard on really helps you reduce any heavy lines. Now onto my number 1 guard. We're gradually getting longer with the guard lengths as we go higher up on the taper. I've pushed the lever down now to create a 1.5. This will help us to continue to reduce the weight at the top of the taper. I'm aiming here to reduce the weight as much as possible before I move on to my clipper over comb. I'm really enjoying sharing all my hot tips with my community here at Hotheads Media. Following the line as shown on the screen, I turn my clipper sideways and move along the comb. This is going to help me reduce weight and length, and this will help blend the short hair into the long hair. You may find you need to go over 2 or 3 times just to reduce the weight and get that smooth transition you're looking for. If you feel that there's still not enough of a blend and you would like to reduce this further, turn the clipper around and go up instead of going in a sideways motion. This is called graduation, and this is a technique used by professionals every day on the shop floor. Using these tips, you can really see this haircut coming together now. Before I move on to the other side, I'm going to continue to work around the ear, reducing the weight and creating a nice, clean, crisp line from the back of the ear to the front of the ear. So this is a fun part of the video where I've now tried to use different cameras and I'm using different angles just to show you a more in-depth look at the whole haircut. Make sure you like, share and subscribe for more videos like this. I really love how this different side of the head and this different camera angle gives you the full perspective on the tips and tricks we use here at Hotheads Media. It's the same as one side as it is the other. Right, after both sides are now completed, we're going to move on to the back. Again, we start with the same process, putting a 0 line in with our Babyliss mini trimmers, making sure we have a nice, clean, straight line across the back of the neck. This will really be the basis for our taper. I tell you what guys, I'm really enjoying doing these haircut tutorials. If you're enjoying these videos as much as I am, please drop me a comment below and let me know what your favourite bits are. Here I'm just making sure that I've got all the little hairs before I move on to the next step. Sticking with the same process as on the side of the head, we grab our big clipper, push the lever down to create a 0.5. This will help us reduce the line we just put in with our mini trimmer. The motion we're trying to create with our clipper is a flick, shorter to longer. This in essence would be freehand graduation. Now closing the lever on our big clipper, we create a 0. This will help us blend the 0 into the 0.5. Because there is a wider surface area at the back of the neck than there is at the front, we have to make sure we take our time to go across the back of the head to really reduce these lines. Remembering our steps at the side of the head, we pick up again our mini trimmers just to reduce any heavy lines or any shadowing that still may be there. Back to my favourite part of the haircut. This is your 0.75 and you can get this by putting on a 0.5 and opening the lever on your big clipper. This really will give you that professional blend that you're looking for and really help show off this transition from short hair to long hair. I'm just working through the clicks on the clipper. This Babyliss Low Pro FX1 is really good for this because it allows you to just click through different lengths on the clipper and blend seamlessly through the grades. As you can tell here, I'm using a bit of a circular motion with the big clipper. I'm still flicking towards the end, but this is a technique used to help reduce weight in thick hair. Moving up the taper, I've now put my number 1 guard on to reduce weight further and continue the blend. I find consistency is key when doing a taper or a fade, so I always work from right to left and then back again. As you just seen, I push down on the lever to create a 1.5. This is going to help me reduce further weight at the top of the taper. I've now come back down to a 0.75 just to blend down and reduce any weight lines that I still see. Again, this is my favourite part of the fade because it just allows me to really create that blurry look from short to long. A great tip to remember, and what all professionals do, is go through the guard lengths up and down to create the fade and that professional finish they're looking for. Remembering back to the steps on the side, we move to some horizontal clipper over comb to reduce the weight and the length further. If we feel we can't get a seamless transition, we then turn the clipper around and use some graduation to blend the short hair into the long hair. This is a key step in refining any taper. Pulling out my home scissors, we're now going to do some scissor over comb. We're trying to mimic the same action with the clipper over comb using graduation to soften the line shorter to longer. These are great scissors for scissor over comb and you can find them by heading to the 1 Minute Barber YouTube channel. Reaching for my texturizing scissors from Leaf, I'm now going to use the same technique, but by using a texturizing scissor it will allow us to reduce more weight and help give an overall softer blend into the longer hair towards the top. Putting in the final touches at the back of the taper and creating some nice sharp lines. Moving on to the top of the head and wetting the hair down thoroughly so it's evenly wet from root to tip. Running the line down the centre will help me create 2 even sections, one on the left and one on the right. Starting with the fringe is most important with this hairstyle as it will make or break the haircut. So I've checked my length and now I'm putting the hair over my fingers. This will help reduce weight and won't keep it too heavy towards the fringe. A good curly textured crop will always allow a lot of movement at the very front of the fringe. After making sure I'm happy with the length of the front to create the desired look, I take another section about an inch up on either side, making sure both of my sections are still level. This will help keep an equal balance to the haircut on either side. I'm pulling the hair forward and cutting it over my finger to reduce weight, connecting it to the guideline that I cut on my first section. As I get further back towards the crown, there will be less hair to comb forward and cut, as the longest part of this hairstyle will be at the front. Checking the length at the front by combing it down is important to make sure you haven't missed any hairs. Now I'm putting a central guideline through the top of the head. This will help keep the haircut balanced from front to back. I always start at the highest point of the head, which tends to be the middle section of your guideline. You can see here on the video that I'm not cutting straight, but I'm point cutting in towards the hair. This will allow for a softer finish and a better overall look that will only enhance the curls. After I've done my central guideline, I'm now going to split the hair down the middle as I did on the fringe in two sections. I'm now going to work across the head, taking a section inch by inch, redirecting it backwards to the last section and point cutting it in to soften the length. I make sure that I'm working across the head from the central guideline all the way to the right hand side. I'll do the same on the other section on the other side of the head, working from the central guideline to the left hand side of the head. This will allow me to keep the whole haircut even and distributed to the same length from front to back. I'm combing it down here just to make sure that the haircut looks even and there's no long hairs that you can see by the eye. Now I'm moving on to the other side of the head, working from the central guideline all the way to the left hand side. Here's a close-up of me chipping into the hair. Again, this really works well with curly hair as it doesn't create any hard lines. Now moving to the front, we're going to check if the fringe connects to the rest of the hair, and as I suspected it does. We're lifting it back just to soften the edge even further. I know we've really followed the guideline throughout this whole haircut and it's really connected well. And now on to the secret technique that's really going to enhance the curls. I'm picking up about a small to medium amount of hair in my hands and twisting it. As you can see clearly in this action shot on the video, I'm not closing the scissors the whole way, as I don't want to cut any of the length, but I want to create texture through the hair. By twisting the hair into a spiral, it helps create texture and movement that really is enhanced when you wear it in a curly style. This is the secret to really creating curly movement throughout this hairstyle. If you're at home doing this on your friends or family, you'll really find this an interesting technique to use. If you love how this looks and you want to wear it like this yourself, show this video to your barber and get the look that you desire. I'm using my hands to check the movement and the texture throughout the top of the hair. This will allow me to work out whether I need to add more texture to certain parts of the haircut. Using your hands and looking in the mirror is a key aspect to getting this haircut right. I'm now using the same technique, but I've reached for my texturizing scissors. This will allow me to create even more texture but reduce weight at the same time. Now another hot tip. This product is my secret curls defining weapon. This is the curls defining cream from Inside. A couple of pumps and you're on your way. I evenly distribute it throughout the hair, making sure that I get enough on the front and the back, and I like to scrunch the hair to allow me to see how the hair is gonna sit as I dry it. I've grabbed my hairdryer, the Wild Vanquish. I've put my diffuser on. This is essential for creating curls. I'm moving my hand in a circular motion. This will help enhance any of the curl texture that we put in throughout the haircut. Make sure it's on a low heat, low speed, and again, the slower it dries, the more curlier it will be. Look how this haircut's really taking shape. Grabbing the best styling product you can get on the market, the matte pomade by Insight. This is really good for creating curls. I'm going to lock it in now with some eco-friendly hairspray. Boom, look at this, curly crop and taper. One of the most trendy styles in the salon today. If you like this video, drop a comment, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.